What was your response to Massoud's death just right
Yeah,
before
the
9/11?
shock waves that Massoud's death caused us, and I'm speaking about my small group, right? That again, I'm not in charge of anything, but just that was the shock waves were great. I mean, that was sort of a real heavy blow to our efforts. We had established relationships with him and his men. And we knew some of these people personally, and his death was a big blow to us. We figured, based on, for that day and 2 days, we thought that the Northern Alliance would collapse and that the Taliban and Al Qaeda would, in fact, take over the country fairly quickly. Uh, but those 2 days were, to be honest, there were so many conflicting reports about his situation, that for the first, I think, day or so, it was denied by his people that he was actually killed.
Hmm.
He was killed at some point, or he died at some point. But that was being sort of hidden from us, from everybody. And by the time it was confirmed, it was, basically a day later. So I mean, to me, the shock of 9/11 was sort of presaged by the shock of Massoud's death. That was a big blow. And when 9/11 took place, as I think you know, I was in the air flying in an airplane from Uzbekistan to London for a conference
Yeah.
about Stinger missiles. Stinger missiles are these
Yes, yes,
missiles
yeah,
that
yeah.
we had given the Mujahideen in the 1980s, the US government had. And by the 1990s and 2000s, we were
You
trying to
wanted
get
them
them
back.
back. Yes. For all the obvious reasons. And these
Yeah.
missiles were incredibly problematic because the quality they were so good after years of being buried in the dust and dirt and walls of houses. We were recovering them and paying money to the Afghans and getting them back and testing them, and they were still working. After 20 years of being in the whatever. So that I immediately turned around and went back to Tashkent, from where we deployed. So, did I knew I was going back into Afghanistan, but for me, it was just, 9/11 was obviously a huge event. I did not grasp the gravity of it. I simply understood that I would be going back into Afghanistan.